What's the worst wedding you've ever been to? I used to photograph weddings. This one took the cake. The bride was doing shots at 8 a.m. in the bridal suite getting ready. She then has the maid of honor call one of the guys to make sure they get plastic bottles or vodka, not glass. They were riding on motorcycles and she didn't want to take a chance of the bottles breaking if they fell off. The guy she was marrying she knew for about 2 months. He had 4 different kids by 4 different women. How do I know this? He has all of their names tattooed on his arm. Nothing is crossed out, just their names in a row. She told me the significance and then bragged she'd be the 5th on his arm. The reception was a shit show. They passed through a Harley dealership and were an hour late to the reception from the ceremony. A drunken squad of bikers with bride and bridesmaids on the back of their bikes. One guy hit a car in the parking lot because he was so blitzed. By the end of the night the bride was passed out on a table while the groom was doing shots with other ladies at the reception. Took great photos for them. I attended a family wedding where the groom told his mother-in-law about an hour before the ceremony that he didn't like her. There were a lot of tears but the bride married him anyway. After the reception, he got drunk and tossed his wedding ring into a field and a wedding guest found it the next morning. Somehow they are still married but I don't have a lot of hope for their future. Bride's parents were very messily and bitterly divorced. Father of the bride was a raging alcoholic who made no effort to hide the fact he hated the groom and thought he was a worthless boss. Father/daughter dance was set to I Loved Her First by Heartland with her father glaring at the groom and flipping him off the entire time. The room was dead silent and no one was making eye contact. Super awkward. During speeches her dad went on an angry drunken rant about how his new son-in-law was lucky there were so many witnesses or he'd have already been dragged out back and shown who the real man in the family was. Before being literally wrestled to the ground by some groomsmen and having the mic taken away. While still drunkenly yelling insults. Bride spent most of the wedding in tears. At the reception, the groom and bride cut the cake. Groom thought it was funny to smash cake on bride's face, right after she told him not to do that. Bride left and did not return. It was uncomfortable. I never heard how long the marriage lasted. Probably my own. I had been having doubts about going through with it. I was dressed and my mom was doing my hair when I had the sudden cold water thrown over me realization that I didn't want to marry this guy. I was stuck. I had family there that traveled cross-country to support me. I will never forget walking towards him and seeing his face. He didn't smile or cry. Just blank. After, at the dinner and reception, he decided to spend his time out on the patio of the church. He had 2 friends at the wedding and apparently they were more important to him than I was. I was dancing alone, talking to guests alone, and all the while feeling wrong. Worst wedding I went to. Everyone was bringing up the bride's dead mother. Over, and over, and over. I felt so bad for the bride, she was keeping her cool but it was obviously difficult for her each time someone brought it up. Also, this is a petty complaint, the only bar was outside and it was pouring rain. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.